Hey everybody, it's Merkel, and today in this one we'll be talking about the classic release date and when I think it will be revealed. So I'm making this video hopefully to put some people's minds at ease because a lot of my friends are worried they won't have enough time to make any plans for it, they won't have time to place their vacation or paid time off, and just overall I think a lot of people out there are worried that it's coming a lot sooner than I think it actually will be. Anyways, let's just jump right into it. So obviously I am super eager to play Classic, just like everybody else that's waiting around for it. I've been twiddling my thumbs thinking, what's Blizzard taking so long for to just give us a release date? And I decided to do a little research into the past when they announced all the release dates for previous WoW expansions. There's also a conspiracy theory that came out when the Classic panels were revealed and discussed at BlizzCon, but let's first discuss the previous release dates. So obviously Classic isn't exactly an expansion, but it's a pretty similar scenario, I would say, to an expansion releasing. So I doubt their announcements would deviate very much from the past when they did something similar like this. So let's take a look from the longest to the shortest. So the longest announcement was the Legion date, this being a 165-day span from the announcement date to the actual release date. Following that is the very next expansion, which was Battle for Azeroth, and this period was a 161-day span. Then jumping far into the past, we look at Classic going into Burning Crusade. This was a pretty large difference in time, and from this point they go down quite rapidly in the duration. So anyways, the time between Classic to Burning Crusade's announcement was 127 days. Pandaria transitioning into Draenor was only 91 days. And the final three announcements were all pretty similar in their time frames. Wrath of the Lich King to Cataclysm was 64 days, Cata to Pandaria 62 days, and finally the shortest date was Burning Crusade into Wrath of the Lich King, being only 59 days. Now mind you again, this is not the date from the announcement of the expansion, this is the date when they released the time which the expansion would open up, so this was the actual reveal of the date. So, what does all that mean? Well, it means that people can probably stop worrying about how much time they have to apply for their vacations or paid time off, or whatever it may be, making plans. I know everyone wants to play an unhealthy amount. I don't blame you. I'm going to do the same thing. You're going to have plenty of time to prep in advance because the shortest amount of notice that Classic's release date would have would likely not fall under 60 days or 2 months. As much as I'd like to get shocked and have them say that Classic is releasing May 1st, I know pretty certainly that probably won't happen based on their past experiences. If we also look too, most dates were revealed in the early to middle half of the month, which means that if they were going to not do it by the end of this week and reveal it, then it would likely happen next week between the days of April 15th to April 19th. And if they don't reveal it that week, then it probably won't be revealed at all in April. And it would lead over into May, and it would likely be revealed between May 6th to May 17th for sure. Those timeline, it's likely going to be revealed in those dates. Now, to discuss why those dates are relevant, let's go into that. So firstly, we have to look at Blizzard's past history for releasing patches, expansions, or really anything in general. They typically like to coincide their release with that of a competing developer. So Final Fantasy XIV, which is a pretty successful and large MMO as of right now, really active player base and everything, is releasing a new expansion named Shadowbringer coming on July 2nd this year. If this happens to be the case, we could get lucky and see a late June Classic release date. I'm guessing on the days of June 25th, probably June 27th. It seems like most past expansions seem to go on either Tuesdays or Thursdays on release dates. And to cover the conspiracy theory that a lot of people might have already heard about, it was the Osconty conspiracy theory. This arose as of last BlizzCon when the Classic panels were being discussed. So amongst many things that got covered, one of the panels that stuck out as kind of odd was the panel which displayed the gnome creation page. At first glance, it didn't seem all that weird, but then if you happen to look at the character names, they were Osconty and July. Now Osconty just seems like a weird name you might get by hitting a random name generator. But specifically naming your character July, that seemed kind of weird. So, if you further delve into it, the name Osconty, you can find that there's a level 16 gnome on the Armory, which has this name. Then upon further looking into the name, you can find that there's a YouTube video by a person named Osconty who was posting it, and this was a video of their Naxxramas patchwork kill that they did exactly on July 16th in 2006. So you have a gnome that's level 16, Osconty is the gnome on the creation page, and then July 16th is the date that can be seen. July 16th this year is also a Tuesday, so it would fit very perfectly with their previous expansion release days. They love doing Tuesdays. That all being said, this theory's been known for quite some time. It's nothing new at all, and it's just a theory. But it does seem like it coincides very well with possibly announcing the release date next week, so it does fit perfectly, and it also does seem like a little sneaky joke that Blizzard could pull, because they might have already had the release date set in their mind long beforehand. Anyways, to wrap things up, when the Osconty theory was made, you also have to keep in mind the expansion for Final Fantasy hadn't even been announced yet. That information wasn't known until February early this year, when the reveal for the Final Fantasy expansion happened, so they might have had July 16th set as their date, but this thing could push it forward. There's a whole lot of factors in it. But from what I've heard, Classic is mostly ready to go at this point. They're just kind of deciding how they want to release content for a more authentic experience, try to keep it as authentic as possible, which is really neat. But that's what I've heard. It's ready to go, so the whole point of the video is, even if it releases in June, you're still going to have a 60-day notice. If they release it next week, the expansion release date, you're going to have plenty of time to prep yourself, whatever it may be, and you don't need to worry. That's all I'm saying. There's plenty of time. I want to play. I'm going to be making plans so I'm going 72 hours. Hope y'all join me. I don't even know if I can stay awake that long, but we're going to try. Thank you for watching. I hope this video was fun. I've actually got a lot of videos playing. I'm very, very eager at this point. I'm getting that bug again for making videos, and I'm very glad, actually. If you're bored and would like to tune in, I have been trying to stream as much as possible. I want to make a schedule for it, but gosh, it's very hard sometimes. I would happily welcome you all to come join me, though. You can ask me anything. I just need to pass the boredom until that Classic releases. So anyways, my Twitch will be in the description. I hope you enjoyed this, and I will see you all again very soon. Bye-bye.